Parenting in a Pandemic, powered by the Chicagoland Mom Squad, every Thursday at noon, right here on What's in It for the Black People Media. Tuned into Minding Our Black-Owned Business here on What's in It for the Black People Media. Miss Jamalita Tillman.
The great thing about what we do at the Harold Washington Cultural Center is that it doesn't just resonate on the South Side, in Chicago, in Illinois, in America. We're in 12 different countries with emergency preparedness programs for institutions and theater schools, as well as curriculum and stage plays. We are the only theater in the country that takes a delegation of students to the Tony Awards every year to get the full Tony experience. So that's everything from seeing a play to hanging out with Broadway actors to going to the grand gala at the Plaza Hotel after. I'm very proud of that. And when I say the only theater, I don't just speak for Black. I'm talking the only theater that pays for everything. We book their flights, we get them dressed, we put them in hotels, we feed them, and we burn them out because when we go to New York for the Tony Awards, and for those who don't know, the Tony Awards are the highest coveted award for Broadway musical theater. It's like the Grammys of theater. That's a huge deal because one, it's not cheap to do that. Two, this is something that even those that are professionals, there are people in Broadway who've never attended the Tony. So that's one of the things I'm very proud of.
WIFTV-PM.
Sissy's Taco Bar Pop-Up is back with more hours and more days. Check them out at their new pop-up location at The Woodlawn, located 1200 East 79th Street. Sissy's Taco Bar offers authentic street tacos infused with international soul. Now every Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday at The Woodlawn from 12 p.m. to 7 p.m. New vegan tacos have been added to the menu too. Visit sissytacobar.com for more info.
WIFTV-PM. WIFTV-PM.
Greetings. We coming, brothers and sisters. Don't you want to see those faces? Hold on, wait a minute. This is the Touré Muhammad Show. I'm so happy to be here in the place to be.
And this is Linda Sissy Perez here in the place to be. Welcome to the Touré Muhammad Show. What's in it for the Black People Media?
Man, so listen here. Let me tell you something. We have some great guests on with us today. We have one food entrepreneur, Nicole Jordan Reed of Nicole Jordan Catering.
Yes, that's one of my favorite. I remember when she first started and she donated to Chicago Women Empowerment Group. So I'm glad.
Yep, absolutely. And then I know you speak fondly of her. You always talk about her. And then we have coming on as well the mayor-elect, Jada Curry. She's going to be the first black mayor of Linwood.
Where is Linwood? Is that towards the Hunnits?
It is, well, kind of, sort of, but it's east. So Linwood is it's a village in Cook County, and it's a suburb. It's kind of near Chicago, Ford Heights, in that area. So it's about a population of 10,000. So I guess if you go 94 going southbound, you can catch it.
Well, I'm interested in learning about her journey. And also we have another mover and shaker, Felicia Shakespeare. She's an author of a podcast, host of owner of Surf Up in Bronzeville. So we have three awesome women today for International Women's Day today, March 8th.
Yes,
So I'm
absolutely.
excited.
Absolutely. That's a wonderful thing. And, you know, for the history buffs, it was in the year 1914 when International Women's Day was held on March 8th. And guess where? In Germany.
Germany.
1914, observance of the day started in Germany to dedicate German women's right to vote.
German women did not win the rights to vote in 1918, Touré.
Well, it was somewhere around there. I think it was there, maybe somewhere, 1917, 18, somewhere around there. Might have been 14, but yeah, it was, you know, it was around, I guess, I don't know, around the same time as women's suffrage in America. But the thing about it is that, from my perspective, so as soon as they got the right to vote, then they were able to go hand in hand with their male counterparts to help to decolonize Africa. And they were a big part of South Africa. You don't realize that a lot of those names you hear in South Africa are actually German names.
I didn't know that.
So they was a big part of apartheid, along with the Third Reich, and along with trying to suppress Jesse Owens, the great track star who came to Germany and beat everybody, whooped everybody in the Olympics.
All right, cool. That's good to know.
Well, in the words of the notorious B.I.G., if you don't know, now you know, you know.
Right. So we have a new restaurant to talk about. We need a segment name for this.
So for the new, how about what's good?
Maybe put a suggestion board up.
A suggestion board? Ain't no suggestion board.
Well, my suggestion is get a board, Touré. Put it in the comments.
Yeah, put it in the comments, but because we're not gonna get no suggestion board. You got too many suggestions.
I have a list.
So whose show is this? Is this my show or your show?
It's yours. I'll let you lead. It's hard, but I'll let you.
Come on, Linda. It's International Women's Day.
Yeah, right. Ooh, man. Can I have something? I can't do nothing. I feel like George Lopez. I can't do nothing.
Do nothing.
Can't do nothing. Well, yeah, we're gonna get that. We got to figure out a name for this segment when we go to these new restaurants. And so we have a new one that we just ventured into. We went all the way to the island, Stony Island. Nipsey's restaurant on 91st and Stony Island. This is where Leona's used to be, right?
Yes, exactly. And it was a nice experience overall, Touré. Good service. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, nice ambiance. They had a huge TV. Sonya, the TV was about as big as the window here. It had a huge TV. Well, it might have been a little bit bigger. Matter of fact, it was about twice as big, wasn't it?
Probably.
That-
And
that-
the
that
sitting
window.
area up there, I like that.
About
The
15 by
VIP.
15 feet.
Yeah, it was big. The food. Let's start with the appetizer. We started off with the crispy fried cauliflower. It was good. I love that sauce that they had. I kept trying to taste it to see what was in it, but I taste dill.
You kept saying dill. Yep. And they said that it's a jerk. I don't even know how to pronounce this. Aioli.
Sauce.
Aioli. I've never heard of that sauce. So they got me because they presented a sauce I've never heard of before. So I don't know if a dill is in that aioli sauce.
But those buttermilk biscuits Oh my God, what was that called? What was the name of that Touré?
So the biscuits were the cat. What was the cat head?
Yes, cat head butter biscuits.
Yeah, that cat head. That name threw me off for a minute because I didn't know what to expect. But I guess they looked like little cat
That
heads.
means
Maybe.
don't put your paws on it. It's for me.
Yeah, obviously.
I had to order another one.
Call me a buttered biscuit.
Called me right. Well, she didn't like the butter. I like the butter. I mean, it was okay to
The
you.
butter was okay. You can taste the honey, but it was a little too much. It was too salty.
It was a salted honey butter.
Yeah, so I was okay.
Yeah.
with just eating it plain. It was soft. It was moist.
Right.
It had the crisp outside, and
Inside.
and the inside was just so soft and moist.
Yeah, it was good. It was good both ways. But I got to put something. I got butter dipping.
Something.
Something. I always like to have something. So the butter just took it over to another notch for me.
This show needs a disclaimer.
Huh?
Get me so hungry. Y'all gotta eat. It's like going grocery shopping.
We gonna get you hungry.
You gotta eat.
Right, you been eating before you come to the show.
Yeah.
And then I had the jerk Alfredo with their in-house sauce, Parmesan cheese, and fresh seasoning. But it was, and they make it creamy, but mine was a little dry. But she did offer to take it back, and I love that customer service because she saw my face. She was like, "Is everything okay?" And I was trying to be polite, like, "Yeah, it's a little dry. It can use some more cream or some milk." But she was willing to take it back, but I didn't need to send it back. I ate it just the way it was.
Yeah, I think I'm with you on this. I don't send stuff back unless it's really bad.
Yeah. So out of a 5, I
Cause I don't,
give it
you
3.5.
don't know who's back there. You know what kind of mental condition they in. They might say when you are sitting there getting ready to send your meal back, the cook or whoever back there might have said the next MF will send their food back.
I'm straight. Yeah.
I'm going.
I'm straight. I keep it.
They done just lost their dog. They done something. You don't know what's done happened back there. I like to see people's face before I ask for a request.
Yeah, I pass.
Hey, how you doing today? What's going? Make sure they're in a good mental state that day. So, but yeah.
And then we both tried the 6 mac cheese.
The 6 mac cheese. It was so they had, what was the cheeses? They had
Gouda something.
Gouda, they had
Smoke.
Cavatelli, they had provolone, Munster, Parmesan, Monterey Jack, smoked mozzarella, and cheddar. If I didn't mention that already.
Yeah.
So it was good. It was
good.
So you know how some people, we old school mac and cheese, you looking for the elbow.
Traditional. You're looking for
Elbow
traditional.
macaroni. So they had the Cavatelli. I guess that's the little ones like little springs. Yeah, little spirals. It's like little springs.
Yeah.
So so that makes it a little different. But I mean, pasta is pasta though to me. All the pasta tastes the same. Pasta don't really have a taste until you put the cheese and the seasoning on it.
Absorbs different. So
Come on, teach on that. Teach on that, chef.
Yes,
Teach
chef.
on that, chef.
I'm just saying, pasta absorbs different ways. So even when I got the chicken Alfredo, I was expecting the other pasta because the cheese,
the long pasta.
Yeah,
So they
because
had the Cavatelli pasta in
Yeah.
the
so it made it
jerk too, springy.
Yeah, that's why I think it made it because it absorbed it.
It absorbs it more than the long. See, you just taught me something. I get it now.
I get it.
Because I'm like, why do you have all these different shapes of pasta? This is all of it tastes the same to me. It just makes no difference.
Right. I thought it was just size. But
It's
apparently
different.
So how it absorbs and how it interacts and pairs with your food,
Yes,
meats and sauces.
I agree. Yeah, so, I think the mac I give it a 3.
The mac
Yeah.
give and 3. So and the 3 is people we hard on judging mac and cheese in our community. So chicken wing and mac and cheese, you got to come with it. But it was good. But that's about a 3.
Yeah, because we're looking for our traditional. We're looking for flavor. We're looking for it. So if you're gonna make mac, make sure you come all the way.
Yeah, who's the Mac?
Who has the best mac in Chi-Town?
Now, let's do that for another segment. We're gonna do that. Though. We don't want
I
to
go
make
buy
any enemies and
every
friends right now.
No, I would go buy every mac just to try it and kind of see who has the best.
All right. So when you try the Mac at every place to see who has the best, mine is gonna be a little bit more limited. But I'm looking for the bread pudding. Who has the best bread pudding? I want to know
Peach cobbler too.
who has the best peach cobbler.
Banana pudding.
Right. Now we got a 1 and 2 right now. For banana pudding. We got Sean Michelle's and
That young
Food on the
girl.
Run.
Yeah, it's a vendor. And
The vendor in Food on the Run. She has her banana pudding in there.
And her banana pudding is delicious, but she adds the bananas. With Sean Michelle's, he doesn't add the banana, which doesn't make it go bad fast.
Right,
So
he
that's
keeps it a lot
another
more
thing.
fresher.
Yeah, but it still tastes like banana pudding.
Because those bananas are going to go no matter what you do.
Absolutely.
One day those bananas start turning brown, and then the look of it when you're trying to sell it. Now, it's good for at home. Ooh, boy, 2 or 3 days later, I eat that banana pudding all browned up. It's good, but you can't, people not going to buy it 2-3 day old.
No, they want it fresh.
They want it fresh, yep. So, but anyway, those are 2 great ones. So, back to the meal at hand. Back to the situation at hand. So, we also had, I had the bourbon and maple syrup glazed salmon. It was good. But there's one thing that I have a pet peeve about, even when I make it at home. I don't necessarily like the skin. Don't serve me the skin to that salmon.
Upside.
That salmon, rather. So, yeah. I mean, take it off.
I mean, you can keep it on, but make sure it's on a plate at the bottom. But if you're going to put
I'm okay if it's at the bottom.
But if you're going to put potatoes underneath or something like rice, you should take the skin off. Because what I'm going to do is take my fork and go
all the way through.
And go through to thinking it's my full-course meal, meaning I should take both of them and
right.
put it in my palate.
Right. I don't want that skin.
Yeah.
Keep the skin. So, but other than that, it was delicious. It was cooked well. It was on the bed. The potatoes were really made like hash browns.
Yeah.
They were chopped up in squares, and they were seasoned very well. They had some cute little carrots sliced in a way that you almost didn't know they were carrots.
What is the food? Is it American? Like, I didn't catch
I think it's American soul.
Okay.
It's American soul, So you had black influence definitely on traditional meals because they had lamb chops, they had salmon, they had
that lady's lamb chops looks delicious coming off. So that's the next thing I'll try is the lamb chops, French fries, and more biscuits.
Yeah, those lamb chops did look very, very good. But it was delicious overall, and man, we look forward to come back. Customer service is wonderful, and man, look forward to continuing to support Nipsey's, a new restaurant. It's on 91st and Stony Island, and we go in there. Some people tell me this all the time. They expect or they think that when we pop up somewhere that people are rolling out the red carpet and providing all types of food. Some people know, some people don't, as promoting black-owned restaurants. So, but I really like to go in the first time to a new restaurant unassumed. I don't like to go in there, people know, and so now they may be doing something special. They may be doing something different. I want you to treat me like you treat the average person. Because who am I sending in there? Who are we encouraging to go? Average people, right? Average consumers. They not, some of y'all don't take that wrong. Y'all not average.
Someone asked me this Saturday. You really believe in customer service? I do.
You do.
I do. And I can stress that I really do. So I'm going to treat people the way I want to be treated when I enter an establishment in our community. Right. So I greet, I talk, I walk around and make that little extra step to give you your bag, especially if you're in there. We had a great conversation. But customer service, also giving quality food and not serving you just anything.
Right, that's right.
Even I think I messed up a pot of rice. I was like, too smushy, garbage, restart. My kids was like, don't throw that rice away. We can take it home.
Right.
But you got to give people what you want.
That's right. And, at the bottom line, the golden rule of life is treat people like you want to be treated.
Absolutely.
Not necessarily how they treat you, but how you want to be treated. And don't necessarily look for the return immediately, but it's a way to live life in a way where good things are going to come back to you because you put out good things.
Absolutely.
So
what you didn't learn in history class is brought to you by Bean Soup Media LLC company, Chicago-based content digital strategy company.
Hey, that's a dope company.
Whose company is that?
That's a dope company. That's your brother Touré Muhammad. We've been around for a minute, popping collars and helping black businesses to grow and to build their brand. But anyway, enough about that right now. We want to tell you what you didn't learn in history class. This is going to be, we're developing these segments. We've been turning them around in our head for a few weeks and months or whatever. And now we're going to start being more definite about making sure we give you some great information. So I'm excited today to give you today's What You Didn't Learn in History Class moment, because it is a woman that I was just listening to over a presentation that she did during Savior's Day weekend. I want to highlight Student Minister Ava Muhammad. She is an attorney who received her Juris Doctorate from Georgetown University Law Center in 1975. And get this, this is something that I think people who are not familiar with the Nation of Islam need to know. She is currently the national spokesperson for the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. This is the post formerly held by Minister Malcolm X under the Nation of Islam under the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. She is a woman who has held leadership position, and at one point, while Minister Farrakhan was overseas, was in charge of the entire Nation of Islam. She's been in charge of a region, a southern region. So when people, again, this is a conversation that follows what we were talking about the other day. People think that women in the Nation of Islam are second fiddle. They're not leaders. They just walk in 5 steps behind the man. And if
they cook, they clean, they sew.
Yeah, now they do that. That ain't all they do.
Right, that's what I'm trying to say.
Right. So, but the thing is, I mean, if you just step back and look at it for a moment, do you think that there will be so many black women in the Nation of Islam? Because the same mindset that most of you all have as black women in America, they come from that same source. And one thing about it is that the black woman, because of what has happened to us in America especially, is not going to just lay down and just, roll with somebody just because they look good, they're attractive. You all have to hear a man with vision and be around people with vision for you to be okay with following that leadership. Now, all of us, black, male or female, has an issue with black leadership in period, right? Whether it's male or female. So, but this is just an example of a woman who men in certain situations, whether she was over the southern region when she was for that short period, I think it was like 2 months while the minister was overseas. Man, everybody had to fall down and follow her and she has been sent places by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan to speak on his behalf in different churches. And sometimes she can't go speak because the churches don't allow a woman to speak in the pulpit. Oh, my
God. When I went to
imagine that.
A Baptist church,
mm-hmm.
They don't let the women speak, or it's not allowed, and you can't come in if you got jeans on. Oh, it says come as you are.
Oh, you wouldn't better come in today, huh?
No.
The men can come in jeans, but the women can't.
Oh, I fought one church on Hosted. I said, I'm coming in. He said, come as you are. And they was like, oh, this is a feisty one at the door. I'm coming in. You're not turning me home.
Ain't nobody gonna turn me around. So they're gonna turn you around.
Oh yeah.
And so not being able to speak at the pulpit is an absolutely ridiculous thing when the woman is the first teacher, first mother. Anyway, so we're not gonna go into all that, but we want to highlight her for her great work and accomplishments. She's a prolific writer, has several books out. She hosts a radio show and does a whole bunch of other stuff. And she's also a cancer survivor, and she attributes her surviving cancer to her beginning, her submission to God and following how do we to live, and her belief that she would survive because of the instruction, the guidance, the support of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. So absolutely beautiful. So we should give her our love and recognition to Student Minister Ava Muhammad today.
Awesome. Well, I just said almost time for break.
Yep, we got almost time for our break. We're going to have our first guest coming up in just a few minutes, and so we're excited to have her on the scene. And, one thing I want to highlight real quick, because we got maybe about a minute and a half before we go to break, and it really is segue into what we were just talking about. So, every weekend I strive to go out with the other brothers, and we go out into the community. We hit different areas. Of course, we always have the Final Call newspaper. We often, because of the hard work, as we mentioned in another show, the hard work of the sisters in the Nation of Islam, We've also been, during the pandemic, bringing a book that teaches people how to keep their house clean, and extensive book, and also masks.
You know what, I meant to ask you about that.
Mm-hmm.
So you brought me a cleaning book.
Mm-hmm.
Where's my mask? I would
Oh,
have loved one of the sister masks.
okay. Well, this is one right here. I think I
Well, I
got.
don't want
I think I got
yours.
one. No, I'm not. You have so many masks.
I do. I have like a basket next to my makeup container. So any outfit, I'm like,
Right.
it's
Every time you
over-
look up, you got a different mask.
It's
on.
about 55 different masks in that little basket.
So we'll bring a mask. I'll get you a mask. If I don't, I have to see who
Don't
has
make a
one.
promise.
We kept giving them out. That's why I said I had to see. So I know I don't have any more, but I'm gonna see if there are any more left. And with that,
Don't
so
forget, if you give me one, you gotta get your mama one.
and my sister one, they gonna be on me.
They go that cat.
Where's my mask?
I want one.
See?
Where's my mask? Sonya. Okay, mask for everyone. You get a mask.
And
You
then
get a
Dawn right
mask. You
before
get a mask.
Everybody
Dawn
get a
too.
mask.
So yep. I can't even say how many was given out then, cause y'all gonna be real salty. I think it's like 67,000 masks.
I think he said or she,
67,
69.
69, somewhere around it. 69,000 handmade masks. But anyway, so I'll see what we can do to get everyone a mask. And with that being so, here's the thing. Oftentimes we hit different community areas. We're talking to people on the street, but then we go into barbershops, right? And it dawned on me, some of the most interesting conversations we have are in the barbershop. And I want to start bringing some of those barbershop conversations into us, right? So here's something that I'm going to do this real quick. I'm going to do this about 60 seconds. The barbershop conversation Saturday was about a brother who was frustrated because he's striving to be better. He's striving to read. This is the brother that was in the bar in the chair getting his hair cut, right? And he said, man, well, I'm trying to learn all these things and improve myself and help our family financially. And my woman, all she wants to do is watch reality TV and don't even want to keep the house clean and take care of the children. And the conversation was around us as men. Our response to him was that at the end of the day, men have to be an example of what we want in our households. And we have to have patience with those around us, just as we want people to have patience with us. And the only thing that we can do is strive hard together to produce environments where our families are not influenced by such negative, low grades information that doesn't keep them striving to grow and evolve. But at the end of the day, they're watching us.
Absolutely.
Right. And it reminded me of a statement that was made by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, who was echoing the words of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. He said, there's no such thing as a no good woman. He said every no good woman was made no good by a no good man.
Amen.
Amen. So
Amen.
as men, we have to be examples of what we want.
Set the tone.
You got to set the tone.
You have to set the tone.
Yep.
Because if the tone is set right, she will kind of fall in place, but kind of lead the house.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if
That's
you're
why you
doing
put
what you're
kinda in
supposed-
there.
Yeah, it depends. you have to be
Words
careful.
matter.
It does. So
You're a
Yep.
good listener.
Right.
yeah.
So,
my,
but
my thing too, when it comes to that, if the man is a strong leader and he's doing what he's supposed, I'm going to follow. But when I see a bunch of BS, I can't follow because I can't let you lead our family into destruction or destroy everything that we built. So
that's facts.
And I will take the reins in the relationship if I have to.
Take the reins. That's right. So listen, we're going to go to this quick break because we have a wonderful guest. Sonya, we're still going to be talking about food, so I don't know that stomach is going to still grumble as we bring on our next guest, Nicole Jordan Reed from the Nicole Jordan Catering. We'll be right back with more of the Touré Muhammad Show after these.
Sissy's Taco Bar Pop-Up is back with more hours and more days. Check them out at their new pop-up location at the Woodlawn, located 1200 East 79th Street. Sissy's Taco Bar offers authentic street tacos infused with international soul. Now every Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday at the Woodlawn from 12 p.m. to 7 p.m. New vegan tacos have been added to the menu too. Visit sissytacobar.com for more info.
Peace, everybody out there. What's going on? This is Eugene McIntosh, one half of the illest independent sports media outlet in the whole entire land, the Bigs. Check me and my player partner Terrence Tomlin, a.k.a. T-Tom the Great, out every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 1 to 3 p.m. on What's in It for the Black People Media Network.
You're listening to I Said What I Said with Toussaint Warner and Herb Howard.
We have a very, very special guest man joining us on today's show.
Walter Beach, he's my godfather and one of two of the dopest black men I've met in my entire life.
This is how I always introduce myself. I'm black in attitude, I'm black in behavior, I'm black in belief and thought, and I'm African in spirit. I accept and acknowledge the fact of my African self being intuitively and have developed the cognitive strength to function as a black man in America. As an African black man, my hypocrisy manifests as silent rage. I must decide what my relationship to racism will be. Only I can say when and where I enter my manhood with quiet, undisputed dignity, without violence or special patronage, asking no quarters, and giving no quarters. When and where I enter, I take with me my people. That's what the sovereignty that Toussaint was talking about means to me. I'm a sovereign human being. And like he was talking about in that point that we made in Amistad when we was talking about, all of our species demands to be free. They may not have the power to prevent it, but they just demands it. And that's what they do. That's what the struggle is about.
WIFTBPN.
Welcome back, everybody. We want you to share, and if you have any comments, make sure you put them in the comment section. But Nicole is the owner of Nicole Jordan Catering, and she's been offering delicious and nutritious food business and individual VA meal plans for several years now. Welcome to the show, Nicole.
Welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for Thank you for having me today.
Thanks for
Absolutely.
being available, and thanks. I really appreciate. I'm like, we have to have Nicole on.
Listen, I don't know what, Nicole. I don't know what you put in the food, but I'm telling you, every time Linda mentions your name, she just lights up like a little child. Just so you just
Thank
bring
you.
good vibes to her. She gets so excited.
I mean, it's. I mean, I remember you donated to Chicago Women Empowerment Group, but your food is delicious, and
Thank
that
you.
leaves an impact. And I know you always do pre-order because sometimes I forget it or miss it, and I'm like, dang, I missed it. And then when I see you prepare it, I'm like, look, Tori, look. So no, your food is delicious. It's always on point. So I was glad, and I think I met you at the Bop Biz Center when I first had you at
That's right.
Tequila
That's right.
Shabab's event.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. That's been a few years ago now.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Time flies.
Yeah.
But go ahead, Nicole. Tell us a little bit about you.
Okay. Well, I'm Nicole Jordan Reed. I am the owner of Nicole Jordan Catering. We are a full service catering company here on the south side of Chicago. We've been in business for 5 years. Even in the midst of everything going on in our world, we are still here. I am a Chicagoan by birth, Southsider, and
Southside.
grew up, yes, yes, in the wild hunnets, as they say.
Same here.
Oh
Uh,
wow, get two wild hunters up in here.
yes, I grew up far, far south side. Way deep. I was born in Roseland and lived in that area for a number of years, and then we moved a little further south in Chicago, and I lived there until high school, where I left and moved with my parents to Colorado. Came back for college and went to the University of Chicago, and then lived in New Jersey after college for a little while, but came back to Chicago, and I've been back in Chicago since 2004.
That is beautiful. Awesome
Yeah,
journey. Love it.
yeah. And so, I've spent a whole other lifetime in corporate, but in 2016, decided to jump and become an entrepreneur in the food space and starting Nicole Jordan Catering. So, like you said, Linda spoke to earlier, we do full catering and we do meal service. We started out doing meal service when we initially started the business, and then put that on the shelf after about a year because our catering component was moving so quickly. And then with the pandemic, we decided to resurrect that into Meals by Nicole, which we did for a short time last year, but we have taken it back on the shelf to fine tune and cultivate its brand, the messaging, as well as our approach to meals with that service. So that'll be coming back out later this year.
Man, that is beautiful. And I want
Yeah,
to acknowledge, from my perspective, I'm always looking at different people in business, and you see certain characteristics where you say, oh, they know something, right? And so learning and reading about your bio and seeing the extensive corporate experience that you have, I can see how you translate some of those principles and experiences and the knowledge you've acquired to help build your business. And one thing, of course, you see is the customer service. And we're going to talk about that once you talk about
absolutely.
that. But first,
Yeah,
talk about the important angle that you highlight of healthy food choices and making
yeah,
and enjoying food, but also making it healthy for you so that you eat to live.
absolutely. So, I mean, we do a wide variety of foods, but I think my focus has been that it is healthy or healthful or less egregious than other things that are out there. But I think our biggest component is that we put a lot of love and care in what we do, and then that reflects in what people receive. And so for me, and I'm a work in progress in terms of understanding my own health and my own wellness journey. But I take on the approach of, if I won't eat it, I don't want to serve it. um, and I'm always
Right.
looking at things and how to improve upon our product. The types of meat or poultry that we source, or certain types of brands, what's in it. And while others might not necessarily actively think about that, I am thinking about that on people's behalf because I'm thinking about it for myself and my family, my husband and I. So, I want to translate that, into some really good tasting stuff that we produce. But also, you can feel good about having it and know that, it's coming from a place, from a business that is taking that into account. And, we're taking that to heart.
Absolutely. And that's a beautiful thing because I just saw a video. I think it was maybe it would have been X, not for sure, but how he worked in a restaurant, this young guy, and he was like the black on the chicken and it's bruised and he's like, that's cancer. But they'll tell him just to cut the piece off and keep serving. He's like, no, I'm gonna throw it away. I'm not serving it to my people. But you have to be careful. But even as a business owner, Nicole, you're right. We have to take the pride. We have to take that in consideration, what we're serving our people. And that's what makes us different. We're more cautious about it, what we're serving.
Yeah.
And Nicole, I follow you so much on Facebook. There's one thing that I love about you as well is you use a farmer or somewhere where you get your meats or produce. Because I brought it to I'm like, look, because that's my concept too, like buying from farmers or local. And I'm like, look, she uses this company. And so I started researching the company, and I'm like, okay. So I was like, I need to ask her how much she, pays, or what is the, do you have to buy in bulks? But I like that about you too, that you buy local as well.
Yes, I mean, and I'm working on doing more of that. So, like in terms of the meats that we procure, a lot of them, I've been really shifting my focus on local, and so there's a farm here in Illinois that they serve a lot of the top restaurants in the area, and I'm like, well, we could do that too, right?
Absolutely.
Let me send an email. I started following, and I'm like, okay, I want to get on and do wholesale purchasing, and so I started doing it, and things have come my way, but I've also started to look into the produce that we procure. So especially as we get into the summer and working with some of the local urban ag, I'm looking to do that. But came across a farm in a Black-owned farm further downstate in Illinois who does wonderful greens and kale, and we took a lot of that. So at the end of their season, I actually bought some to try and loved it. So I'm like, when season comes back in, we're going to be all over it, And, I still look into a lot of different companies for me personally, as well as, to share with others. So, I might purchase things from a wholesale, standpoint as a business, but there's so many resources out there too that also now start to offer a retail version for individuals who want to do that in their own homes as well. And I want to start sharing more of that too via on social media so that we can engage, especially our Black-owned companies who are doing it, because there are a few out there.
Absolutely.
Man, that's
a conversation Touré and I have, now that I'm in this field, because I had the idea before I got in the field, but I couldn't activate it because I wasn't there yet to actually have a conversation with restaurants or chefs or things of that nature. But one thing that I would like to do is chefs or restaurants that we work together when it comes to our produce, our products, so we can save, so we can make it more affordable for the people in the community.
Yes,
and I know this is going to take a conversation, but there's so much that I want to do now that I'm in this field. But that's one of them where we get someone with a truck or a van and we go pick up, but we split that. But it makes our costs way more reasonable, and it'll help us survive in pandemics like this.
That's right. And then with those farmers, if you have an opportunity where you have, let's say it's 100 different restaurants, and they can say, well, we know collectively we're going to use this amount of poultry, this amount of eggs, then these farmers that are in like mind can say, okay, we can work now and produce, knowing that we have a sale on the end at the end of the year or whatever from these particular restaurants who are going to purchase that local, that farm raised, produce from us and poultry.
Absolutely.
And we're circulating our dollars right in our community and continue with the Black farmers as well.
But one thing both of you all mentioned that, of course, is important. Everybody has to have like-mindedness, right? And that's the key thing, because some people may not be as concerned about antibiotics and non-GMO. So, you got to find those like-minded restaurants who are already doing that. The other ones may come along eventually, but you got to work with those who have the same mindset, because and listening
Correct.
to both of you all are not just gonna get the chicken from anywhere.
No.
So some people don't. So that's the key.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
You
we're
can
always
taste
trying
the
to
difference.
balance.
What'd you say,
Absolutely,
Nicole?
you can. I said you definitely can taste the difference, and as a business, we're always trying to balance our costs, with producing a good product.
Right,
I think
that's
for the
right.
most part, and so having to look at that and being able to have or establish collectives or consortiums that could work together to buy in bulk or buy in mass, that can help to balance the challenges of cost management and delivering a quality product. Those can be beneficial.
Right.
Absolutely.
That's right. So, man, shout out to some of the people that are tuning in: Lionel Muhammad, Dana Nicole, and a few other people. We appreciate you all. What was that? Denise Russell for tuning in. And so, Nicole, one thing that struck me also about just reading more of your background, you place a high level of importance on continued education.
Yeah.
So, talk a little bit about why that's important, because I think that's one of the missing ingredients, especially when it comes to the person in business who they're a great chef or they're a great mechanic or they're good at what they do, but they have not learned the principles of business that can take them from being self-employed to actually being a full-fledged business owner.
Yeah. I mean, it's critical. I mean, the world is changing. So, business is changing. We are evolving as a people. So it is only natural that, you would want to uh, invest that time and understand. So the things that I did when I first started out, I may not be doing right now because I've either learned about new technologies, I have a different understanding, a little trial and error, thinking about what I want people to experience and how that's evolved. And so you have to be a student at all times, and you have to actively seek out from product to information to technology, and especially in the area of my favorite area is customer service, that which is something we thrive on. And the business of 5, 10, 15 years ago should not be operating in the same way because the world is not. And so you have to stay up with things. And I think it helps to mature the business, and it takes you out of that, to your point, of being that solopreneur. Because I started out with me and one other person, a friend who helped me in the commercial kitchen space we were in. And we were washing the dishes and packing the food and cooking the food and delivering the food and coming back and cleaning up. And well, that's not sustainable, right? If I want to actually grow a business, and how do I do that? What are the things I need to understand? What are the systems I need to understand? How do I hire the right people? What do I need them to do? How do I instruct? How do I even lead? I need to learn how, I've been in leadership roles in my career, but this is different, it's another evolution in my path. And so I have to learn. And I am, wholeheartedly support other businesses to do the same. It just helps you to grow.
Absolutely.
Yep, that's right. That's right.
And I can relate because right now I'm working in it. I'm doing everything. I'm doing the shopping, the cooking, the prepping, the advertising. Like you have your all hats on, but you need the hats on so you can learn your system and figure it out, what works and what don't work. And then you get your workers in there. But I have a system, and I'm gonna be training my first worker on Wednesday. So help is coming.
Help is on the way. Good.
I once heard the
washing dishes for you.
Yeah, Tory. He does the dishes. He's the PO system guy.
Washing dishes never hurt anybody, Tory.
Yeah.
Hey, you absolutely right. Never hurt anybody.
But grandma
but she got some sharp knives in there. She got some sharp knives in there, Nicole. I got to be careful.
Look, I understand. I keep a full set of sharp knives at all times.
But you said something reminded me of my experience. When I used to write full time for the Final Call newspaper, I was working for a U.S. member of Congress, and in those two positions, every phone call that I put out there, it came back. right? Anybody would return my call. And so when I left and was building my company, Bean Soup Times, we not with the Congress anymore? You still writing for the paper? Right, those calls came back slower and slower, and I realized, okay, I have to start over again, basically, and build up my company so they're responding to what I am now and not what I used to be.
Yeah.
Why he not returning my call? Congressman so-and-so and Senator so-and-so, how did he not return my call? Yeah, you ain't.
It's true.
You don't come with
It's
that
very
same
true.
juice of those companies that you were with.
You know,
Now you have
that's
to
your.
rebuild it based upon who you are and what you're doing.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. You know, starting a business coming from where I was a ground zero experience. You know, and coming up, and I think even now with the pandemic, that's been a reset as well,
Yes.
on a few levels for me, and it's almost like starting over again. But it's a start over with a lot more intel and
Right.
education, and a lot more perspective. I want to really see this out, so I can take a step back of being in my grind, able to take things that have happened and be able to pull it forward, but in a way that helps me to not just sustain my business, but really grow it and for it to make even more impact.
Absolutely. What meal do you mostly often make for yourself, Nicole?
Well, these days, the what I'm eating is changing a lot. Kind of doing some lifestyle changes. So what I make a lot of salmon for myself and my husband. And I cook that. I mean, I do everything from roasting. I love salmon steak, so we roast it and have it with broccoli, or I'll cook it and then shred it, and I'll scramble it with eggs and spinach and avocado and tomato. I'll do all kinds of things. On occasion, we fried it. It's really good fried. If you've never had fried salmon, I don't do that as much as I'm not a big fryer.
We have
It
never had
is
fried
excellent.
salmon. It's excellent, huh?
It's excellent. It's excellent. Fried salmon. You can, fry the fillet or cut it up into small bites, and kind of like you fry catfish, or even or a perch. It's really good. But I love cooking a lot of salmon for us, and we have evolved too in terms of I eat a lot of grass fed meat, so I'm finding myself I cook a lot of that personally, but for the business. I do some similar things. We do offer some of the same things, salmon, and people love our Tuscan salmon. That's one of it's delicious.
How do you deal with that skin?
Well, I am a fan of skin on salmon, but we
at the bottom
do it
or the
with
top?
On the bottom,
on the bottom,
the fillet, on the bottom,
Yes.
Yeah, not on the top, but on the bottom. So we do it both ways, but I actually enjoy salmon skin. You'll find now in the stores that they sell fish skin as a protein, chip alternative. It's amazing.
Really?
And it's funny that she says that, because my oldest, the 11-year-old, he loves the skin. So when I make it, it has that crust to it. He's like, "Oh, can I have that?" Sure.
I love it too. Yeah.
I like it, of course, for the searing. It helps to keep some of the juices in to cook it with the
It's a
skin
lot of
on.
flavor in that. It's a lot. It holds that flavor.
That's how
Definitely.
we make our tacos. We keep the skin on, and then when I give you the taco, I peel it off before I serve it to you. But it does keep and holds the moist.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of flavor in that, because it's a little layer, the little fat, and like that holds it. But yeah, and one other thing, I used to eat them. Well, I think I cook them more for my clients, and I think we cook them so much I probably don't eat them as much. Is our braised short ribs, which are super popular. Especially in the winter and fall. Everyone loves that hearty comfort food as well.
Sounds delicious. Absolutely sounds delicious.
I have one more question before we move on. Nicole,
Yes,
what
we got a
advice
break.
would you
Yep,
give
about 2
people,
minutes.
What advice would you give people that's interested in starting a business or a catering business or food service?
Research. Research. I mean, look at other businesses. And it doesn't have to be in your local area. Look at businesses that are in your area doing what you want to do. businesses nationally that are doing in other major metropolitan areas and what they're doing. Google is a beast. You can type in, how do I start, and everything will pop up. But that research is important. At your city and local county level, understand what it takes to get into business, like the actual functional steps as far as establishing a business. Learn those things, and also seek out the free opportunities, because there's tons of them in terms of education and training. So you want to start a business, so you want to be a food entrepreneur, you want to cook. What does that mean? Understand that. And there's like opportunity at the city level in our local chambers that offer a plethora of programs and classes that you can engage in, no cost, to really arm you and prepare you. And then talk to other business owners. I did some similar things, and they don't necessarily have to always be business owners that do exactly. They could be same in the food space, but they could be out. But talk to other business owners about their path, so you can really understand, that walk.
Man, that's beautiful. And man, one of the most powerful things about everything you just gave is free things, things that you can do without a dime in your pocket to help learn and grow and build your business. So you may be having your money over here with product and all the other things for your business, and there's all these other tools you can use. It's just being aggressive and hungry. And
you have to. You have to go after it. It doesn't fall in your lap. But if you start to walk towards it, it will come to you.
That's right. I'm a believer in that. So one last question. What's your favorite or most impactful either business or motivational book?
Ooh. I got a couple. Like, that's a hard one because I'm currently in the midst of rotating between a few. One I love is Abundance Now by Lisa Nichols. For anyone who's looking to make that leap into their next path or whatever's the next part of their journey, it's a really great book to give you perspective of where you are today and really shifting your mindset around what you want to do, what your purpose is, and how you want to impact. That's a big one. I'm actually revisiting that one. I read it last year, but I'm revisiting it now. And the other, there's an author, his name is Mike Michalowicz. He is a serial entrepreneur, but his mission in life is to eradicate entrepreneurial poverty. I was like, that's deep and powerful.
I like that.
Yeah. And so he has a series of books that I have been like glued to since like early 2020. But one is, there's two. One is called The Toilet Paper Entrepreneur. And it really is a grassroots, scrappy look at, where you are and how to be, that you can thrive, and how you do that as a young entrepreneur. And the other is called Profit First. And Profit First is really enlightening to me as a business owner, and understanding how you, the grind, if you will, and how do you really look at your finances and grow, and how do you work your business to, be a profit first business. And it's not even from a standpoint, people think, oh, that sounds kind of selfish, right? But it really is, a holistic approach to how do you benefit from this, as well as, how does your company, operate successfully.
Right. That's key. That's important. Self-preservation is a part of the big picture that sometimes I think, especially in our community, we think that we're being greedy or people appear to be greedy. But, if you're in an airplane and it starts going down, they tell you first thing you do is put on your oxygen mask and then help people around you. So if you can't take care of yourself, you won't be in a position to take care of others. So, Nicole, man, we appreciate you being on the show today. Tell people how they can reach you, and then we're going to take a quick break and come back with our next guest. But you have been an amazing addition to the Touré Muhammad show today.
Thanks for coming on today, Nicole. Appreciate it. Is she still there?
Uh-oh, she was like, I'm gone.
She gone? All right. Well, listen, go to Facebook, go to Instagram, look up Nicole Jordan Catering. And I think she froze, but look at make sure you reach out to her. And if you Google Nicole Jordan Catering, she's going to come up.
Absolutely.
Yep. And man, we appreciate her. So we're going to go to a quick break, and we'll be right back with the mayor-elect of Linwood, Illinois, Jada Curry, in just a few minutes.
WIFTDPM.
The Chicago Legal Network is the collaboration of attorneys that concentrate in many areas of the law most needed in Chicago neighborhoods. The CLN lawyers focus on personal injury, criminal defense, and other issues. The CLN lawyers all average over 20 years of legal experience and are dedicated to helping the Chicago community. The Chicago Legal Network is committed to developing black lawyers through mentorship and co-representation. So if you were injured in a car accident, slip and fall, or injured on the job, or you need assistance with criminal defense, including driving violations and DUI, check out ChicagoLegalNetwork.com for more information or call 773-912-3545. 773-912-3545.
My name is Cassandra J. Matz, current Village of Olympia Fields trustee and your candidate for Village President of Olympia Fields. I've been a resident of Olympia Fields for 28 years. I believe in building strategic partnerships, establishing governance boundaries, and have and will continue to dedicate my life's work as a respected and credible voice when it comes to decision making. Olympia Fields has always been a community of familiarity and comfort, and I want to make sure the village stays that way. On Tuesday, April 6th, vote Cassandra J. Matz for your Olympia Fields Village President. Paid for by Citizens for Cassandra J. Matz.
Peace, everybody out there. What's going on? This is Eugene McIntosh, one half of the illest independent sports media outlet in the whole entire land, the Bigs. Check me and my player partner, Terrence Tomlin, a.k.a. T-Tom the Great, out every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 1 to 3 p.m. on What's in It for the Black People Media Network.
Shop at Black-owned and operated Solo Beauty, where you are appreciated and respected. Located at 8158 South Cottage Grove, Solo Beauty can supply all of your black hair care needs. Solo Beauty is open from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m., Tuesday through Saturday.
What's up, good people? If you didn't tune in to the last I Said What I Said, here's what you missed. This legendary journalist, man, his list of accomplishments goes on and on. He's an author, a brother. He is someone that, for me, I've looked up to literally since I was about 11 or 12 years old. And this was really before I knew his name. I mean, I knew what Slam Magazine was. That's kind of what you did as a shorty. But I didn't even know that he wrote for it, right? And I had read plenty of his articles, but I didn't know that the dude who I saw every morning on my way to school was Scoop Jackson. Eastside crazy, man. So, in growing up over there where I grew up, there wasn't a whole lot of positive male representation. I would walk down the block past his house every morning. I would see him coming out of his driveway, right? He had this coldest truck, black Pathfinder, if I recall. I would see him, and he would always just take a couple minutes to chop it up, and it would just be me or, a couple of my guys just walking to school. And again, over there wasn't a whole lot of representation of positive black males. I don't know that you were aware of the difference that you were making on us at the time.
I don't want to say I don't believe in the concept of giving back. I feel if you give back, that means that you left. So my whole purpose in never leaving the same neighborhood I came up in is that I never gave back. You just give. I would hope that I would have impact on what your everyday lives were. I could be the one dude in the neighborhood that stopped and spoke to you, which I think is really important.
Yeah.
Because young individuals in black neighborhoods, especially young men, get ignored very quickly.
All the time.
They get dismissed. Right. They get minimized. And the one thing, I still do it to this day. Say what's up to everybody, especially young brothers, because we have a tendency not to acknowledge one another. And I've never lived that life. My hope was that, us having the small time and me just being there and you all, just developing a relationship with me and me developing a relationship with you would have at least a small impact on you. It would give you there's some decent people around me. There's something I can look forward to maybe. If I don't have anybody else in this neighborhood that I can talk to that can identify with me, right, I can ring Scoop's doorbell. You got a good memory. It was a black Pathfinder too. You good.
Coldest truck I had seen. I was like, yo, that's raw. Cuz balling. I said what I said. Urban 2, right here on What's in It for the Black People Media.
WIFTDPM.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Again, we want to thank Nicole Jordan for being on the show with What's in It for the Black People. Today, we want to introduce Jada Curry. She ran on a platform of building trust, transparency, and transforming in Linwood, Illinois, and it worked. She's been in public service for many years with a background in education, entrepreneurship. She is now the mayor and elected of Linwood. Welcome to the show, Jada.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. How are you doing today?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
It's our pleasure, Madam Mayor. Congratulations on your win.
Congratulations.
And you ousted a 4-term incumbent. And I know that's no small task. I've worked in a political arena a little bit, and I understand how hard it is for someone who's not in office to unthrone, if you will, someone who is in office. So it sounds like it was a rough campaign. The numbers, you beat them by what, about 8-10% somewhere in there. So that you put some work in.
We put a lot of work in, and I'm actually currently a trustee in the village. So I had a chance to really know what was going on a little bit behind the curtain. So I was privy to some information. So I didn't just come out of nowhere.
Understood.
Well, it's a pleasure to have you on. I think it's great that we have the first Black woman elected of the mayor of Linwood on today. We made history with your win last month, and now we're here to celebrate your victory during a Women's History Month. Touré, would you like to just tell us a little bit about yourself and kind of let the people know your background?
Sure. So I've been a resident in Linwood for 16 years. I am married to a wonderful police officer, mother of 2. We have a 26-year-old daughter who's a school teacher, a history school teacher, and a 15-year-old sophomore in high school. By profession, I work in human resources as a consultant. I am also a sitting trustee for our village.
That's beautiful.
Absolutely beautiful. And how long have you been a trustee?
Almost 2 years.
2 years. Beautiful.
It'll be 2 years in April.
So, I was so glad to hear about your win, and I had a friend out there. He's been in Linwood probably about 15 years, and he was talking about you, the Darnell Williams, the gifted barber. So I know you come highly recommended even before you got elected because he was talking highly of you.
Oh, nice. Thank you, Darnell.
So you and Linda, my co-host here, have something in common. Every time, all the women have something in common. So she runs a daycare and early childhood education, and she's also an entrepreneur and business owner. So I knew you all could make a connection there. So, but tell us a little bit about some of that background and how it helped develop you to really to your victory.
Sure. So I'm also president of the YWCA Early Head Start Board. So early childhood is something that I'm very passionate about. And in addition to that, I have a master's degree in multi-categorical special education. And
multi-categorical, what is that?
It means I can teach different students who have different and unique needs, more diverse learners.
Gotcha.
So, yes. And I was also on the school board. So I served on our school board here for 6 years. So Linda, I know your world. I love it. I live for it. Blending my passion for education and my entrepreneurial experience has been something that has really allowed me to connect to a lot of our residents, because what I have come to find is that we have a lot of educators in Linwood. We have a lot of entrepreneurs in Linwood, and we have a lot of people who are interested in both. So it kind of gave us a common ground.
That's beautiful. So what's your first action as mayor in May when you take office?
The first action, so that's like a running joke here. I'll tell you, honestly, I want to go in and make sure that we establish some clear channels of communication. I've been saying that to our residents from day one. I want them to feel like they are a part of this process. Obviously, there are some other things that we're going to be doing in terms of auditing and looking at the infrastructure of the village and making some decisions there. But most importantly is making sure that our residents feel informed.
Man, that's beautiful. And for those who may not be familiar with Linwood, it was founded in 1959, and it's bordered by Lansing on the north, Glenwood to the west, Ford Heights and Sauk Village to the south, and Munster and Dyer, Indiana to the east. And it's right on the border of Indiana. And so you have I know that's a diverse area, but it's predominantly I think it's what is it, 70% black, and then other.
Yeah, it's about 66% black population.
Yeah. It depends on which report you're looking at. They have us anywhere between 50 and 65% African American.
And the total population is what, about 10,000?
Yes, just shy of 10,000.
Okay.
Man, that's beautiful. So, I just recently got my real estate license. So, what's the housing market out there? Is a lot of houses for sale? Is it a lot of people moving in? Are there a lot of rental opportunities?
Linwood is booming, honestly. We are seeing lots of building, even throughout the winter, of new homes and families that are moving in. Houses are not staying on the market very long. There are not many that are for sale. So if you are interested in moving to Linwood, you better get on it now, because when this new administration takes over, we won't have room. We'll have to keep building.
Everybody's going to be coming there in a minute.
Yes.
We got somebody with education and business background. So
that's all it's what about.
That's right.
Community thrives when homeowners are there in business, but that's what makes a community thrive.
Right. And people forget about, because the city is so, of course, congested, we forget that not too far outside of the city limits, you have farmland. So Linwood are there a lot of farmers or farm, facilities and opportunities in Linwood, like you have maybe in, there are other places downstate Illinois where you have, a lot of farmland?
We do. Honestly, we have quite a bit of farmland, which is really cool because I enjoy going out to our farms. I enjoy getting fresh fruits and vegetables. We have lots of farm stands that open up, weather permitting. And so we see a lot of people who come in to take advantage of that. Linwood is just unique in that you have farmland, you have all these residential areas, and then you have some smaller little business districts that we're looking to expand.
That's beautiful.
Man, absolutely beautiful. And you have a daughter who's an educator as well, right? I saw the news report and I thought that was so beautiful that she teaches history, and now she'll get a chance to highlight you in history class.
That's cute.
Yes. She is a high school history teacher. And so she has been telling her students about my journey. I feel like they have gone on it with me. And so during Black History Month, she was able to share with them that I won. So I've been receiving all kinds of special notes from them.
That's beautiful.
Absolutely. And what are some of the things that may stand out in Linwood, like for people who may want to visit, or like you said, people who want to move out there as you take it to another level? What are some of the amenities of Linwood?
As it stands right now, we're known for our farms. We're known for the Whole Trunk facility, which is where we see a lot of sporting events taking place. We are known as a really nice, quiet residential town. So a lot of families that are looking to move into that sort of environment are attracted to Linwood. And we're known for where we are in terms of location. We are sitting in the perfect spot for you to go into the city or just across the border into Indiana or further south. So typically when most people are coming to Linwood, they're coming for those reasons. But after May, they'll be coming for many more reasons.
Absolutely beautiful.
So talking about the educational piece, Like when it comes to Linwood's grammar school, are they all up to part when it comes to the testing that they do yearly for the kids? Are they behind, or is the curriculum more advanced?
I'm sorry. I'm hearing some background. I couldn't hear anything you said.
Okay, when it comes to the grammar schools, just in case if people want to move out there, as far as the curriculum or the testing that the kids are they on point with the scores? Is the curriculum advanced for them? Or are they kind of behind? Like, where are they at academic in the grammar schools in Linwood?
We actually don't have any schools that sit in Linwood. Our children are dispersed out to neighboring towns. And so I think it really depends on which district you're looking at. I can tell you, coming from serving on the school board for 6 years, that particular district, which is Sunnybrook, has done a really nice job of understanding the needs of our children and trying to advance and address social-emotional needs as well as academic needs. The high school is doing an amazing job. My son is having a great experience, even with e-learning and all of the challenges that present itself with this world we're living in. And so what I'm also in the process of doing is developing relationships with the other districts that feed into Linwood so that I can better understand where they are and how the village can support them.
Okay, that's what's up.
Man, that's absolutely beautiful. So, man, we congratulate you. We celebrate with you on this historic win in Linwood, and we're encouraging folks check out Linwood. There's a new mayor in town, Mayor-elect Jada Curry, and man, we give much love to you and your family, and continued success as you help to take Linwood to new heights.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you. We're excited. Thanks for having me on the show. And I invite both of you to come and check us out so you can see what all the hype is about.
Oh, we're gonna come. And listen. You know, we're always highlighting Black-owned restaurants. Any Black-owned restaurants out there in Linwood?
Actually, we're in conversations with one, so there will be soon.
Beautiful, beautiful. We'll definitely have to come out there and represent for them. But even before that happens, we'll definitely make a trip out there and get some fresh fruits and vegetables from some of the farmers out there.
And see what the hype is about.
Good.
I'm excited.
Yes. I would love to have you as my special guest. So.
Yes. Send us the invites. We will be there.
Right. I want to make Darnell jealous. He'll say, "What you doing in my city?" Right. Yeah, let me know first, and let me invite him.
Okay.
I got an invite from the Mayor-elect. Come on through.
Before we move on.
Yes.
I mean, just talking about restaurants, we're foodie people. But now with Linwood, are you guys focused on trying to get more minorities to open up business in Linwood? Are there programs like, Chicago has, opportunity funds, grants? Would there be any grants or opportunity funds for Black-owned businesses in Linwood?
Good question.
Great question. So we are interested in bringing entrepreneurs to Linwood. It's an ideal space. Someone just sent me some information for minority-owned businesses that I am reading through and wanting to become a little more well-versed on, because if we can use that as a draw, we absolutely will. We have the land for build-outs. We have residents that would support these businesses, and we're located in a space where these businesses will thrive, not just because of the Linwood residents, but because of surrounding towns. So yes, we're very interested in that.
Okay.
Beautiful. Okay, you can have Linda listening. She has a taco bar. She has some incredible tacos, and she does a pop-up here in Chicago. So you got her looking. I see in her eyes. She's looking about Linwood. She always wanted to be in some place with a farm. She keeps talking about she needs to be on a farm land somewhere.
Closer to the farmers, I can just go, whoop, grab all my produce.
Yeah, absolutely. And
Linda called me. We're actually planning on doing some summer concert and movie series outdoors safely. We want to be respectful that we're still living in COVID times, but we were looking at food vendors. So I would love to have you come out.
Yes, I would love to come out.
Man, beautiful. And the pandemic really has, I think people that are in the city a little bit more congested. this pandemic has you thinking about having more space, having an acre or two, right? Having some room, and then even being able to, bring families together. We've heard many stories about families because grandma's over here and the son and others, children are there, and to be in one space, and, everybody still have their own house, right? Let's build some houses now. We don't need to be in the same house, but at least if we're close together,
You know what, Tori?
we can have our support systems in place.
No, I went to a venue, which was, I was going to have my wedding there, and it was a farm. And it was amazing how grandma had her house, the daughter had her house, the son had his house, the grandkids was all growing up together, and then they had a little store, and then they had their event space. And that was dope. And then they had the old school, the farmhouse school back in the days that they got shipped from Milwaukee to their land because she needed that school and church to actually do a graveyard site. And she buried her husband and family members on there. So I like that concept. Get land and build your own family houses, and you have your own space.
Right, I like that. That's the kind of separate and equal I like.
Yeah. We have to be under the same roof, but we can be close.
Yeah, I love it. I actually just convinced my mom to move, so
Oh, beautiful.
she's here now.
Yeah, I know that's incredibly important. That's beautiful. So, well, we thank you. We appreciate you for coming on the show today. How can people, if they want to come visit, or is there any way for people who may be in Linwood and want to reach you or get more information? How can they get in contact with you, or whatever information you want to leave for contact?
Jada D. Curry, and also via email at votes4, that's the number 4, Jada Curry @gmail.com. I officially take the oath on May 11th. So after May 11th, you can find me at Village Hall.
Absolutely wonderful.
One more question before you get out of here. Do you guys have the village calendar, like everything that's going on that people can find as well, or in Linwood? Like the community events that you guys may have?
There's a calendar that's posted on our website. It's not very robust, and that is something that we're going to be revamping right away. It's part of making sure that we stay in communication with our residents. So right now it has a little bit of information, but moving forward, it will be flooded with information.
Beautiful.
Yes, great. I appreciate that. And not to throw shade on the incumbent, but I looked at the website and saw the last newsletter was from 2018. And I said, oh, Lord. I know there's something happening in Linwood since 2018. So
well, she's in the office now. It's
right.
Better.
Right. So we're looking forward to better communication. And that was what you ran on, transparency. And that just tickled me. I said, yeah, that's what she's talking about. Look at that. Last newsletter was 2018. It's been a pandemic. You've had time. Right. Somebody could have done the newsletter during the pandemic. Everybody was at home.
Yeah. Hilarious. Yeah. And that's the thing. Like our residents, they need to know. And the administration certainly could have done a better job of providing more information. And I'll leave it there.
That was the perfect political way to say that. So thank you. I can say it differently. That's disrespectful not to have. And I did communications for elected officials. So that's my lane right there. The newsletter was key and important. Get the newsletter out and inform the people about what's going on.
Well, thank you for coming on. We appreciate you, and we enjoyed this show with you today.
All right, so we'll be in touch with you, and we thank you for coming on. And we're going to go to a quick break, and we'll be right back with our next guest, another shaker and mover. This has been International Women's Day today, for real. I'm just here, man. I'm just riding the boat along with all these powerful women today.
What did you just say? The nation can't rise.
A nation can rise no higher than this woman.
I look forward to seeing you guys in Linwood.
All right, so we'll be right back with more of the Touré Muhammad Show, and we appreciate you all, and stay tuned.
WIFTV PM.
Shop at Black-owned and operated Solo Beauty, where you are appreciated and respected. Located at 8158 South Cottage Grove, Solo Beauty can supply all of your black hair care needs. Solo Beauty is open from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m., Tuesday through Saturday.
What's up, good people?
Y'all go accept my request on the page. So
Why?
I can do the
Why would we do that? Why would we do that?
I'm trying to do the survey.
Why would we let you in? Why would we let you on the? You talking about the Iswiz Book Club page? No, why would
we're gonna let you in, Ron. You need to read. I'm with that. I'm definitely put you on.
Somebody please let Ron in the Iswiz. Is it? I thought it was a public page.
I don't know. I don't run it.
I don't know who run it. You got to talk to Shannon and Robin and.
You say what? Y'all group private like it's something special or something.
First of all, it is something special.
Ass.
Okay,
there's something special. Okay,
you know what I'm saying?
And you gonna talk it again. Don't get no punishment again now.
Right. They already came in there like, look at her being nice to Ron today. It wasn't gonna last.
You always mess.
I think Adrian came in like, for now, like just for a little while.
Just for a little while.
Just for a little while. Just for a little while. Somebody let that man in the page. Somebody let that man in the page, Robin. Please let him in. I said what I said. Herb 2, right here on What's in It for the Black People Media.
Tune in to Parenting in a Pandemic, powered by the Chicagoland Mom Squad, every Thursday at noon, right here on What's in It for the Black People Media.
Welcome to Inhale, Exhale, you guys. We are your health home girls, Dr. Tanks Lee and Danny Time. We are being joined today by a guest, Samantha Allen, who's going to work with us today about attachment styles.
The overview of attachment styles is basically how we connect with people, how we have relationships. And I just want to clear up, it's not just about romantic relationships with your family, with your friends, how you host relationships, period. It's important to look at yourself and figure out, what am I contributing to the relationship, or why am I attracting this style of a relationship? So all the attachment styles develop from your caregiving style. They say that from 0 to 5, you have already developed your attachment style. If you had a secure attachment style, your parents were very in tune with your moods, in tune with your behavior. They kind of soothe you when you cry. For secure, you grow to be more communicative. You have good communication style. You feel positive about yourself and about others. You just have a healthier, you're able to set healthy boundaries, so on and so forth. And that just comes from the love, attention, and caregiving that you were given as a child, which usually develops a secure attachment style.
So on that note, with healing these things and changing your attachment style, we're reprogramming ourselves. Right. It's like our inner child that is showing up in these anxious, attachments, and we are wanting our way. We're reprogramming.
WIFTBPM.
All right. We are back.
Yes, we're back. Yes, Touré, welcome back. So what's in it for the Black People? Touré Muhammad Show.
I'm always talking over you, ain't it?
Yes, I told you like to talk.
Get used to it.
I'm speaking.
Listen, Linda. Listen, Sonia. This is the only moment I have where I can out-talk her. Any other time, I'm listening.
So you gotta go.
Right.
Gotta go.
This is my moment. This is my moment to speak. So, man, we're so excited with our next guest. She is a shaker and mover for sure here in the city of Chicago. I haven't said this in a while, but you all know we continue to bring y'all amazing people, amazing shakers and movers. And this one, she's the founder of A Purpose-Driven Woman, showing female entrepreneurs and career professionals how to be successful in business and life. And she helps women build their brand by connecting to their purpose. And let me say immediately,
welcome,
I don't know.
Welcome.
Yeah, welcome. I don't know who to take blame for this because I believe I sent the name spelled correctly. But on the lower third, it says Felicia, Felicia. And that almost looks like Felicia from Fridays. Bye, Felicia. Bye, Felicia. Right. It's not that. The correct spelling is Felicia. So please forgive us, Miss Felicia Shakespeare, for that oversight. But we appreciate you being on the show today.
Yes,
Thanks for having me. How are you guys?
We are doing good.
Awesome.
Yes. So you're hosting podcasts, you've written several books, and you own a
Yes.
restaurant. So it seems like you practice what you preach. Tell us about your
Awesome.
purpose divine woman. Was it why was it a business you saw and needed to start it one? Just tell us a little bit about that.
Well, once again, I want to thank you all for having me. I know our interaction and meeting has been through the restaurant.
Right.
But I was so excited. I said, you know what? I'm going to send this to Touré. He asked for for my bio. I said, well, it's going to be a little different than what you probably know. But yeah, to just step back, the reason I started a purpose driven woman, actually, it was in 2018 where I actually had about 3 women, and I always say this: nothing happens by coincidence. So within a 2-week time frame, 3 women approached me about mentoring them. 3 different women from 3 totally different ecosystems, and I'm like, So I'm the type of person, I'm like, you know what? There may be something to this. Clearly, there's more that I need to do after having written the book. As you said, I have written a book called You Are Your Brand back in 2016. You Are Your Brand, Building from the Inside Out. And I felt like after I wrote that book, although my intended avatar was literally college students and those, what I would say, re-emerging individuals who want to just maybe change their careers, women seemingly just gravitated to that project. I was immediately thrust into talking to women as far as at women's events. I would have a vendor table. Of course, that was my logical place to start, but I didn't really realize how many would be drawn to the project. And then, of course, the Black Women's Expo. And that led to a relationship with Dress for Success, which led to one event after another. So after 2 years, I would say, of me kind of being all over sharing as I was, now it was like putting me, maybe you need to create something, right? So that's kind of how it got started. And I would say, yeah, and then I would say the first conference I did was in Chicago, November 2018. I decided to put a conference together, and the name of the conference, Linda and Touré, was A Purpose-Driven Woman, Moving Beyond Fear to Faith, because so many women that I had spoke to and were seeking counsel from me, you could just sense that there was a level of fear or just not thinking that I can do what I'm seeing others do that I desire to do. And as you said, Linda, I do believe in practicing what I preach. So, even as I put on that event, I had never done that before. And I'm like, how am I, I was, had to overcome my own fears. Absolutely. But it really has led from one thing to the next, as you can see, to
Absolutely.
the next.
And when he gives you that vision, you run with it because there's a purpose behind that vision.
Yeah.
And you act on it and you wasn't fearful of it. And that's the beautiful part of it. But that's exactly how I got started with Chicago Women Empowerment Group. It was people coming to me, asking me how to start this, how to do this. I said, you know what? I might as well start a non-for-profit to help out other women, because we had to come together to share and collaborate, but help each other with our stories so we won't have to make the same mistakes. So we become a mentor, and that's what we need in our community. So when we can come together as Black women, pull together, just as any race of women, we have to learn how to collaborate as women and not be in so much competition, but collaborating with each other and pushing each other to the next level. That's beautiful. I love it.
So true.
Yeah, absolutely. So talk a little bit about the importance of writing a book, because hint, Felicia, somebody over here to my right has incredible knowledge of how to build daycare, and then some of the points she just made. So tell her why it's so important. And I can't wait. I'm going to read your book, You Are Your Brand, because I think that's so important.
That title. You are your brand.
Yes, you are your brand, building from the inside out. And the importance, and it was a story even behind why I wrote that book. It was actually a situation where I was going to be offered, I was in talks to be offered a position at my former alma mater. So I had actually had a conversation with the president of the college, and she was just like, Felicia, you bring these skills, we need young people come, that was kind of like the basis of where it started. But when the position fell through, for different reasons, budgeting, whatever the case was at the time, it's just what, something in me was like, what am I waiting for? I'm waiting for an opportunity, but why don't I just create one? I could still tell my story, because I did feel like, having been an African American woman, a lot of times I was put in situations in corporate America at that time where I was the only or the few, right? The only of the or the few. And I did not have mentorship as far as what I would have wanted. So after having all those experiences, I feel like, let me put this in writing. And that's what prompted me, Touré, to write the book. But I promise you, it gets good. We don't even have time to talk about it today because, as they say, the story gets better and better. It's so many things that happen when you walk in purpose, back to what we were talking about. So even when I came up with the name of the conference, I didn't even realize that was the name of my business. I had actually named my business something else. And a year later, I was just saying, you know what? My brand, my podcast was one name. The conference was one name. The business was one name. And then it just hit me. Wait a minute. You already have it. You are a purpose-driven woman. That's the name of your business. You know, and it's just like, okay. So I renamed the podcast. I literally had to send an addendum to the state of Illinois. They renamed the name was available. And that's how, you know, even getting in alignment, you know, with that, because you can't be a brand if people can't really identify what you do and who you are, you know. So even in that statement, a purpose-driven woman, that actually represents me outside of all the things I do. It's all been driven because of why I feel and I felt the need to help and aid and of course fulfill my own purpose.
Absolutely beautiful. And so you're on the international level. You've spoken in London. You talk about some of this, where this purpose-driven focus has taken you, and then talk a little bit. This wasn't, of course, the focus of it, but I want to make sure you highlight a little bit one of the businesses you have, which is Surf's Up, which we've talked about here on the show. So we want to make sure people do know you have that too, that they can get a book and get some food, right? Go online and get a book, and go in Bronzeville and get some food.
Yeah, people have been asking me about that the vegan shrimp. Well, where can I get that?
Really?
Like Surf Up, Bronzeville. Oh, okay.
Surf's Up, where we love our customers. So my brother and I actually co-own that space. My brother has taken the reins primarily, although we are partners and are in a partnership. He's there operating it primarily on a day-to-day basis, but I do have my day-to-day roles, even though I may not physically be there. But to answer your question, Touré and Linda, back to purpose, you know, even when I came up with the vision for a purpose-driven woman, when I did the conference, I knew then, I said, you know what, I had this vision. I said, I want to go local, national, and global. Local, national, global, Chicago, Atlanta, and then London. It was just, I knew I wanted to do that because I actually had visited London back in 2006. I really loved, of course, having the last name Shakespeare. There is some synergy there.
Oh, right.
And of course, being a writer, I mean, you got to love London, right? But with all that said, when I did the first conference, it worked out. I mean, it just blew my mind, that the reception and the impact it made, which birthed the podcast. But then I said, okay, next year I'm going to take it to Atlanta. Literally, you all, the week before COVID-19 broke out is when I actually, had the conference scheduled March 20th. And if you remember, they shut everything down by like March 17th.
Right then. That's right.
Right then.
Right then.
So here I am. I literally had canvassed the city. I had got the venue. I mean, everything had came together beautifully in my mind. But guess what? That's when you have to be flexible and understand, you know what? I'm still going to go forward with this vision. So I just literally took didn't know nothing about Zoom at the time. Of course, we're all Zoomed out and Google Meet and everything. But I literally took the conference for Atlanta online. Unbeknownst to me, I'm going to fast forward to your point about London. I had no idea that by July, I was going to be asked to speak online in London during COVID. So that was kind of, so I will say this. It was very unorthodox. In my mind, I was going to go to London and just put on a conference. But guess what? I was able to bring a purpose-driven woman to the world through being a part of a global summit, which is actually ending today. It's actually going on. They're in their second one going on. It's been going on since Friday. It's called Global Woman. Global Woman is a worldwide organization that brings women from all over the world for empowerment purposes. And it was just so amazing. And then even to capture that, this is I can't get into it today. So if you bring me back, I promise I'll tell it all. But to be able to go there last July and be a speaker on branding, believe it or not, the individual that inspired me to write that book was a part of that meeting. I know y'all heard of Chicken Soup for the Soul, right? Jack Canfield. We've all heard of Chicken Soup for the Soul.
Canfield, exactly.
Jack Canfield. He spoke for them again this week. This was the person that was in that. It was literally, I'm on this flyer, and here I am, placed right behind Jack. And I'm just like blown away. So I'm just saying all this to say, you all heard me start saying it went from a thought of me pursuing an action to help some women. That in turn, everything has kind of formulated because I chose to write the book. And now each opportunity has presented itself along the way. And I won the Global Woman Inspirational Award. I want to say that just in all humility, I thought that was crazy. I mean, that was just like, you can't get no better than that in a pandemic, right? And it was by votes, and it was by a committee vote as well as a popular vote. So I just thought that was like, wow. If everything has an line, you can't make this stuff up.
That's right. So this award was from the Global Woman Summit.
Yes.
Everybody.
Yes.
So it's a vote that after the presentations, how's the vote? How was it? How did that happen?
So literally, you received the link, and you had to promote yourself and engage your audience, and at the end they literally tally. And actually, they're having the awards today. So right now it's 6 hours in advance. It's going on right now. They're going to have the whole new winners be announced today. And I just thought that was so amazing to just have that opportunity and literally
so this
be
is a people's choice. This is a people's choice.
It was
award.
people's choice, right? And they literally told us the number of votes. And I thought that was very, on the fourth, up and up. So I thought that was great. So
that's when you're doing a divine purpose and you're on
exactly
the right path.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Confirmation. I love it.
That is so beautiful. So I know you have to run now, right? You got some shaking and moving to do. So it's 12:45.
I can do 3 more minutes.
3 more minutes.
We can cap it off at the 50 if you'd like.
All right, beautiful. So again, tell people where they can get your book, and then let's talk a little bit about what's next for a purpose-driven woman.
Yeah, and I want to share this too. Since that time, and actually, back to Linda and writing, I actually did a project. So since you are your brand, one of my desires was to actually, after having done the conference, after having done the podcast, I always wanted to do a collaborative project, because one thing I didn't mention, I actually was a part of a collaborative project. At the time I was writing You Are Your Brand, it was 20 women, 1 man, actually 19 women, 1 male, and from all over the U.S. primarily. And long story short, I knew I would want to do something like that on just in some capacity. So when I did a Purpose-Driven Women's Conference, and as time went on, I opened up that opportunity 2019. Long story short, that project came out last September, even during the pandemic. So I partnered with 13 other women. Most of them they're all from Chicago, although 2 are out of state right now. And it's called A Purpose-Driven Woman, 14 Memoirs on Becoming Fearless and Intentional. So, so that latest project, once again, if you want to be inspired, and I think it's how appropriate on International Women's Day to be talking about this. If you want to be inspired and just see how women just like you have defined what success is for them, that's another project. And I always tell people, when you buy a collaborative project, it's like you're buying 14 books, right? Or 13 books, depending on how many individuals are participating. But to get my book, You Are Your Brand, and A Purpose-Driven Woman, you can go everywhere books are sold, Amazon.com. My website is apurposedrivenwoman.us also, and FeliciaShakespeare.com as well. So those are the ways you can get a hold of the book project. But like I said, Amazon that has the digital format as well as the hard copy, in case you want to get it real quick.
That's beautiful.
Absolutely beautiful. Tell us a little bit about the some of the guests of the podcast, and how many episodes. How many episodes have you done?
I've done to date that have been produced. I have 28 episodes. So I'm on my way. I want to be like you when I grow up, Touré. I don't know how many you've done here, But I'm on. But my latest guest. Oh my God! I know y'all have heard of Chicagoan Cheryl Jackson.
Absolutely.
She's the former president of the Chicago Urban League, as well as her women's movement, Linda. And she has something called Grit and Grace Day coming up. But Grit and Grace, just sharing her story of how to have that strength, but yet still giving yourself grace. I mean, she tells her story so profoundly. So please, if you have not downloaded that podcast episode, that's also on all platforms for podcasts, particularly Apple, Stitcher, Spotify. That was a great conversation. And I have some other ladies I'm featuring, two more ladies this week and next week and the following week. Maybe a fourth individual as we celebrate Women's History. And if you don't mind, Touré, I want to give a shout out to, I had a chance to sit back when, and I know we were all, were you all excited about Kamala winning, our new vice president?
Yeah, I was excited. I got some mixed feelings.
Okay.
Overall,
okay.
But I love her achievement. Huh?
What's your mixed feelings?
My mixed feeling is that, I don't Biden.
Okay.
My mixed feeling is that I think she's much better than him.
Absolutely.
Right.
So I don't like who she's tied to. I'll say it like that.
Okay. You're safe.
Well, I love what you said. You like the history that she made, right?
Exactly.
And when I sat there, I was thinking, and then it just popped in my mind. So I'm so proud to even launch today. History Becomes Her Story, a t-shirt line. I just want to share with you guys. Yeah. And I actually came up with the idea right after she got nominated, but it has been a lot of work, of course, but I said, you know what better day than today? So I've been working all this weekend to make sure everything was finished. But that's a wonderful way to celebrate International Women's Day too. So yeah, it's just exciting that women have these opportunities. And I would say this as I close, take advantage of every gift that God has given you. At some point we can't be ashamed or dumbed down. Even as women, I think sometimes we get so caught up in so many dynamics of the way society has been formulated, particularly as a Black woman, But I'm a product of Chicago. I'm a product of Chicago Public Schools. I always tell students, you know what? I'm just like you. I went to college. I had to work and go to school. My parents didn't have a silver spoon. I'm the first generation college graduate in our family. So it can be done. I actually graduated from my undergrad is Elmhurst College, and my master's is in Aurora University. And I also earned a master's at American College of Education.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
yes. More education, huh, boys?
Yeah, and we gotta make sure Jada knows that Surf's Up wants a booth whenever she does that event that she talks about.
We coming out there with Sissy's Tacos and Surf's Up to Linwood. Good food is gonna invade it. Broadcast live, right? From what's in it for the Black People Media. That's right. We all coming.
Y'all, what's in it for the Black people?
What's in it for the Black people? We're going to be out there in Linwood.
I'm excited about that. I heard her say, congratulations to her. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's our time. It's a movement going, and we just got to fall in place.
That's absolutely right. So, man, we appreciate you, Felicia. It's 12:52, and when we thank you for being on with us and sharing some of your things, and I was so happy to have you on, and I knew you had other stuff to talk about besides the restaurant, and so man, we're so pleased to hear about what you're doing in all aspects of life, and this is why it's so important for us to support local businesses and Black-owned restaurants in particular, because so many restaurateurs and business owners are doing more than just the restaurant, and so you have so many different points to support and understand. A lot of Black-owned businesses have a vision to help strengthen and improve the community, and it's not just about making money. Now, we need to make money now,
so we can continue.
So you can continue to work, but instead of necessarily setting up a non-for-profit that's funding stuff, we set up for-profits that can take care of ourselves and we give back. So shout out to you for what you're doing, Felicia.
Thank you so much.
And we appreciate you for coming on the show. Finally, it happened. It happened. It's been about 2 years.
No, not for us.
At least a year. Well, it was That's right. It was
No,
it was
we
the
met.
primary. It was the franchisee that it took that
Yeah,
while, but it's
exactly.
been at
We
least
just met.
we just
You and I
met
just met.
in during the Black Crawl. That was in
That's right.
what was that?
I think
October,
it was. Yeah, it was a.
November, somewhere around
Yes,
there.
that's when we
I
met.
just know it was nice outside.
Oh, it was nice outside. It was summertime.
Like maybe August.
It was August. It was somewhere around. Yes, right. It was August. It was August.
And we really appreciate you all, your support, Touré. We really appreciate Black Chicago Eats. Thank you for sharing the love, because what you do does make a difference for restaurants and anyone's out there, supporting restaurants right now. It's just really critical, to the survival. So everything counts. So we don't take it lightly. We really appreciate your investment too in the community.
Absolutely.
Beautiful. Thank you. So listen, we appreciate you. We'll be talking to you soon. And
Okay.
Man, stay encouraged and keep helping the community and helping us to grow and improve.
Thank y'all for such a lovely platform. I really enjoyed my time with you.
Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Sure.
Okay. Take care.
All right. Peace.
So, Touré,
Yes.
you know what I wanted to bring up?
What's that?
The real estate need. So if people looking for homes, you know how our community can thrive? If you can buy property right in our own community. And if you need property or looking for property, that's your man, Touré Muhammad.
Hey, we can help. We can help absolutely with that. This is the new angle, the new aspect. Something that when I joined the Nation of Islam, there were three things that were important and critical that the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that we have to focus on: food, clothing, and shelter. Right? Those are the three things that everybody needs, regardless of religion, class, creed, or color. If our community can make sure that we're self-determined in those areas. So we're doing the food, right? We promote restaurants and we promote some of the engagement and dialogue around farms and all of that. And some more stuff is going to be coming up real soon because we're working with a couple of organizations that are really focused on connecting Black restaurants and Black farmers and the whole nine. But then it's the land. Right? We got to start getting more property. We got to start being more of the landowner in our community and the landlord. So we have to look at purchasing land, getting acres. I was just listening to a presentation from a beautiful couple. We've promoted him. We brought him on the show one time. Shaheed Muhammad and his wife just bought 5 acres of land, and their goal is to produce a boarding school. Both of them have been in education 20 plus years, and Muhammad University and Malcolm X College and the like. And they are now looking to build a boarding school and create a sustainable place where they can teach Black children to love themselves and to strive for excellence. They do such incredible stuff. They have one student who was 14 years old that is working on their second master's degree.
That's dope.
We can do
a lot.
We can do a lot, and our children.
We've been doing a lot.
We've been doing a lot, right? So that's how you channel that ADD. You teach them and fill them up with knowledge. So we can help. And for those people who may be wanting to understand what's going on in the market right now, real quick, it's a seller's market for real estate right now. Right now, homeowners have gained an incredible opportunity to win big by selling in today's housing market. So if you're the kind of person that has multiple homes, right, you have one house, 2 houses, maybe you've been renting out one for a while, this is a great time to sell because houses are selling in half the time that they sold last year. January 2020, it took 43 days for a house to be on the market. 2021, 21 days. Right? Houses are getting more offers and creating bidding wars. Right? Right now, a lot of people are bidding or offering a price a little bit above what the homeowner is asking for right now, just to try to eliminate the bidding wars that's going on. So I've even seen some houses that were marked what you thought was low, but it was only low because that started the bidding and it went higher than.
Just like the building we saw in Hyde Park.
That's a possibility.
And we said that's way too low to be in Hyde Park.
It is. So that could be a bidding war that is happening for that. And so medium sales price is up 14.1%. What a house sold in January 2020, if it sold for $266,000, and Right now, it's selling for $303,000, $304,000. So if you have some property to sell, this is the time to do it and get a little bit bang for the buck. So with that, that's our maybe that's gonna be the keeping it real estate segment.
Maybe.
How about that?
Maybe.
Keeping it real estate?
Maybe.
She never likes my ideas. It's always maybe.
Maybe.
The only idea she likes is the one that comes from between her head. Those are always the best ideas. Listen, we got on record now. Just wait about 2 weeks. She gonna come up with the same idea.
I just said that to you, right? Yeah, you said it
I said
different.
that.
You said it different.
No, I said keep it.
That's great.
Right. No, I said keeping it real estate. You said keeping it real estate.
McDowell's.
Right. This is McDowell's. We have the Big Mick.
Hold on. I watched Coming to America too last night.
You did.
So, it was mixed reviews on Facebook. I disagree with those negative reviews. I actually enjoyed it.
It was good.
It was good. It was really good. But all our people got paid. That's what counts, too.
Man, everybody got paid.
And it was like a reunion, seeing the old people.
That's right. They had most of the old cast was in there.
Yes. And I mean, if I grew up on Coming to America. I used to watch it over. I was like the couch potato on Saturday. Mary Poppins. That was my thing.
Mary Poppins.
Yes. And
Making
then it was Coming to America and Color Purple. Like, those were my favorite three, and Dirty Dancing. If I didn't have those on my Saturday.
Now we see. now we begin to see a little bit more. We can begin to see a little bit more who she is now. Look at that combination. Mary Poppins, Coming to America, and Dirty Dancing.
Yes. No one puts my baby in.
No one puts baby in the corner.
No one.
So, man, that's beautiful. Yeah, those definitely. I watched those too. Not the Mary Poppins, but Dirty Dancing and Coming to America. So with that, we're going to be out of here, brothers and sisters. Never forget, as long as I have a bowl of bean soup, you've got half. Peace.
WIIFTBPM.